Jim, it seems like every offseason, there's someone who goes from being more of a reserve to really taking that big step forward in fall camp and then getting playing time during the season. Is there anyone that you've seen that's really made that step this offseason?
Yeah, I brought the whole roster with me, really, just to be able to refer back to that. Quite a few. Just to say the top of the list, I really be tough to make that call because there's been a lot. I would really start with in the lines, describing what the progress has been and where we are in fall camp right now. Offensive line, I think you're probably familiar. We had really four starter type guys returning, and Carson Barnhart and Trente and Trevor Keegan, Zach Sinter, and three great transfers, and Hinton, Nugent, and LD. Also, guys have risen to Jeff Percy. I'm considering him starter status. Gio and Greg Crippen as well. I mean, really 10 deep right now. Reese Atterbury. I mean, there's Andrew Gentry. How does he not get in the two deep? It's been that kind of good for us. And they're playing good, playing healthy. Everybody in there is doing a heck of a job. And we had a goal line scrimmage yesterday and a short yardage scrimmage Saturday. And I would even say, as good as the offensive line has been, that the defense in the defensive line probably got the better of it. The 51%. I would send that way, and that's Mason Graham, Kenneth Grant, Chris Jenkins, Cam Good has really asserted himself, and then we're super strong at the edge position. Jalen Harrell has been, as good as, if you call him the best, but Braden McGregor, Derek Moore, and Josiah Stewart as well. TJ Guy is a guy who's asserted himself at that position. Been really good at the linebacker position. So when I talk about the front seven, Junior Colson has been outstanding. Mike Barrett's been outstanding. Ernest Hausman has been really good. The guy who I'd say who's inserted himself the most is Jaden Hood, as far as where he was last year to where he is now. He is really getting right there in the mix, special teams and defensively, and that just really covers the offensive front and the defensive front. And happy to talk about the other positions if you want as well.
On the left, Chris.
What does Jalen bring to the table besides the stats?
Harrell?
Yeah.
Just really becoming a complete player in terms of edge player. He plays our Sam edge, which is more the athletic pass rusher. Expect him to be really proficient in coverage, but he's somebody that can go get the quarterback and set the edge. Braden, Derek Moore, that edge, that bigger edge, that rush we call them, and both of them have been fitting the bill in that regard. And Josiah Stewart, like Jalen, he's that Sam type of player, real athletic, bend around the corner, go get the quarterback.
And then on the return game, who do you got working on punt returns and kick returns?
Right now, I mean, that's good competition. Mike Samerstel, Kalel Mullins, Donovan Edwards has been really good in punt return. Jake Thaw right there at the top. Keyshawn Harris, Carmelo English, Tyler Morris. Kick returner, Kalel, Roman Wilson, Iman Dennis could be extremely good. And also a secret plan for Alex Orji. He might be He's got a chance to be maybe one of the greatest kick returners of all time. Big 230, 35-pound guy. So he just started doing it. We'll see how it goes. He's also excelling at quarterback, so there'll be some decisions that have to be made. We have to improve in our kickoff return blocking before I would agree to have Alex Orji returning the kick. So there's a bit of a challenge there going on. It's made for quite a bit of excitement and enthusiasm that our kickoff return blockers have seen what Alex can do as a kick returner, but the challenge is on them to get better at their fundamentals and their techniques, and give him a chance to. Because if we can make it happen, it'd be really special. But I mean, Claude Mullings is very similar in that, and would be similar in that role. But there's some excitement there.
Back left, Ryan.
What are your thoughts on Oregon and Washington joining the Big Ten, and what type of impact do you think that could have on your players and your program?
I really don't have any thoughts to share. Very much been just focused on one thing, and that's getting our team ready for our first game.
On the right, Wojo.
Jim, over here. Can you speak to any of the NCAA situation now that it appears that they did make a comment on Twitter? Can you respond to that, or where the NCAA situation stands?
No, I can't comment on it.
Over here on the left, Aaron.
Going back to the offensive line, have you seen two guys emerge at tackle yet?
Offensive tackle? No, I definitely think you're going to see the Michigan method in play at offensive tackle. There's two starters on the left. There's two starters on the right. There's 4 starting tackles that we have, and it'll go through camp. I envision starting 2 tackles one game, first game, and 2 tackles the second game. I see that happening at edge. Could be the case at center. Probably will be the case at corner, and those would be the main ones. But it's just that close. It's just that good, really. 4 starting tackles, and kills me not to put Andrew Gentry in that category because he's so good. To where we're gonna have to play him at guard and tackle and find ways to get him on the field. But I don't know. I'd say I had to pick the best one right now so far through 12, 13 days of camp. Carson Barnhart is having the best camp so far, but here we are halfway through.
Stay on the left there, Michael.
Yeah, Jim, just following up on the offensive tackles, of the 4 or 5 guys that you like as starters, who do you like on the left and who do you like on the right?
Well, everybody's going to be the way it started. The first half of camp, Carson, Ladarius have been at the left tackle, and Miles Hinton and Trente, and Miles. We've given them the same amount of starter reps as backup reps, and we're interchanging guys. It's Carson's ability his versatility. I mean, he could play any position. He could play left. He could play right. He could play guard, and he could even play center. So developing that same versatility, with the other guys as well, is a priority. And we'll flip it again. Day off today, come back tomorrow, and those tackles, Trente and Carson will go back to starting tackles, and as they did the first week, and then the second segment they became the backups in LD and Miles. It's becoming that it's they're all right there playing at a super high starter level and predict it'll go into the first and second game to find out exactly who the starters will be.
Jennifer?
Yeah.
General.
Oh,
JJ was talking about this being kind of like a steam engine, and guys just came in from the loss to TCU, back in spring, ready to go, pushing ahead. What do you see in this team's demeanor and their mission?
so we've had a lot of people through. I mean, there've been a lot of people, a lot of football people, we've had general managers come through, we've had scouts come through. One in particular who was in our meetings and at practices, he said, "This is vibrant." So that's my word. I can't get that word out of my head. That just best describes the vibe, the mentality. Yeah, it's infectious. You can't help not picking up on that, and that was well defined. It's vibrant, and they take that from the meeting rooms to the weight rooms to the practice field to the stadium. It's super pleased. Also, a first to have the first scrimmage in the stadium be as good as it was. I mean, every season I've coached, every season I was a part of as a player, you go to that first scrimmage in the stadium and it's, guys forget. I mean, I forgot coaching as a player, just something about going to the big house, scrimmage, coaches yelling at everybody. That's always been my experience as a player, and even as a coach. Just freshmen forget everything they've been taught. It wasn't like that at all. It was same vibrant energy, execution, and I even commented to the team afterwards that it was never seen anything quite like that. So it's good. They're further ahead. They're further ahead. And that's a credit to the coaches and the players themselves and their focus.
On the right here, Tony.
Yeah, hey Jim, just another question about the ones and twos at the spots you're rotating. I think you called it the Michigan method. Is that, obviously you did that with JJ and with Cade last year. Is that was you finding JJ or that success? Is that the reason you're implementing it this wide, or had you done that at positions prior, elsewhere, or how has this sort of developed?
I read it that another team was doing that for their quarterbacks. Michigan method. I liked it. I liked the way that sounded. So, yeah, it's the Michigan method.
What about
who plays? Who plays? Who gets to start? The best players. How do you know who the best player is? They play the best. So, if I had to define what the Michigan method is, that would define it well. At those certain positions, quarterback last year, not this year, tackle this year, center, corner, edge. It's so close, and there's multiple guys that are starters that practice may define it over 29 days, but it may not, and have to go to find the separation in the game to find out who the best player is, because they would play the best.
On the left here, Austin.
Jim, you just mentioned this team's focus. Is that something that you have emphasized with them, or is that something that maybe you've seen the team just kind of take on its own?
Oh, it's got to come from them, right? I mean, it's got to from any individual. I mean, I've tried, and I've tried to make guys love football, have enthusiasm, attack each day with an enthusiasm unknown to mankind, make them love football, everything in my power. And I've come to the realization that it's got to come from the individual, no matter how hard you try. there's not a guy right now. I mean, in the junior, senior, fifth year class that that I could point to and say that isn't doing everything they should. I mean, everything, and taking any and every opportunity and trying to maximize it, and just being trusted agents and known friends. That's how I looked at them. It's to the point where, and I had to make a poster person for who I thought was the most, who really defined enthusiasm unknown to mankind. And I looked at every player, every coach, even considered myself, and by the power vested in me, the new as the head coach, the poster person for enthusiasm unknown to mankind for the 2023 year is Chris Jenkins. And I made a nice little sticker, EUTM. It's now on the helmet, and he's not the only one who has it. We've given some others out. Blake Corum, J.J. McCarthy, Zach Marshall even gave one to a freshman, and a few others got that initial award. But yeah, poster person is Chris Jenkins. It's a lot of them. And captains. That's coming. We'll see. We'll see what that vote yields. But there's just so many to choose from that lead and attack and love football. So
In the middle.
good problems to have.
Coach, Michigan comes in at 2 over Ohio State in the AP poll this year, first time since 2012. Does that add any fuel to the fire for the guys going into this year, especially with Ohio State not going?
It's probably about this. Probably falls in the same category. I think you asked me something else about Oregon and Washington coming into the Big Ten, or other matters. I mean, it's. My wife asked me to do things, during these days, during these weeks, and really trying my best. But I mean, it is really locked in on this football team, and trying to make today the absolute best day, even though it's an off day. We're up there grinding as coaches and going over the film from yesterday, and then tomorrow getting the scripts ready to make that the best day of camp. So that's where my head's at.
On the left, Tom.
You said it's vibrant. This might be a similar question to what he asked, but you said it's vibrant. You said you're super focused. Throughout your entire career, with whatever you want to call them, distractions, things off the field, with NFL rumors, the NCAA thing going on right now, how have your players been able to not let that permeate and stay focused? And why are they able to do that and not let it impact on the field?
Yeah, I would say that it's a mission, right? I mean, some people go to their job and it's a job. For us, it's a mission, and I even coined it last year. It's a happy mission. That's the vibrant way it hit my brain. And I think that's what we're on.
On the right, Reiner.
Back in February, you said that you kind of evaluate, your time at Michigan year to year. Considering that you also said that you kind of think that 20 players will be drafted, and then you have the uncertainty of the outcome of the NCAA Pro. I mean, do you see this year as pivotal? The outcome of this year pivotal to your future at Michigan?
It's the beauty of my dad's mantra. Attack each day with an enthusiasm unknown to mankind. It just frames it right there. Attack each day. Attack this day with enthusiasm unknown to mankind. And living by it daily. And it's been good. It's worked.
Jack.
Beat Georgia period.
what's that? How is that part of practice going to get Michigan over the hump that they've been trying to get over the last 2 weeks?
It'll be a small. It would be a small piece. It certainly wouldn't be one that would. It's probably 1,000 other little things that we're trying to do right. But it's one of the things we're trying to do right, and it's just how they play. You respect it, and I respect it, and want to have our players prepared, to play at that level. I mean, we're chasing perfection, and that's part of it. They're the team to beat.
On the right, Dennis.
I have 2 quick personnel questions. Roman Wilson and Cornelius Johnson at wide receiver. What's the vibe like with the guys behind them?
Really, really good. That's a whole group there of really good players. I'll start with 3 of the freshmen, Carmelo English and Frederick Moore, Carmelo English, and Samaj Morgan. Those 3 have really come in and inserted themselves right off the bat. They've taken reps. They've taken reps with the 1s. They've taken reps with the 2s. I mean, they're not playing like freshmen. Carmelo and Frederick and Samaj, their ability to get out of a break. We haven't seen that for many freshmen, let alone too many receivers that have come through here. Their ability to track the ball. Frederick Moore's ability to track the ball is as good as I've seen. Samaj Morgan, quick, fast, and shorter stature, but a very big catch radius. He can catch the balls away from his body. He can high point. He's been really good. The other guys, Christian Dixon, also in my mind is somebody that's really asserting himself right now, and it's his availability. I mean, he is there every day. He's playing through. He's taking a couple big hits, held onto the ball, but it's that talent to be there every single day. Best ability is availability. He's rising. Darius Clemens, he's had a few nagging things, but looking forward to hopefully getting him. He was back at practice yesterday and working through something, but hopefully this next 2 weeks leading up to the game 1 and game 2, he can get back in there and be really effective. But it's a lot of guys. Roman and Cornelius Johnson been really outstanding. We know what they can do, but there's other guys. Dale Chesson, Joe Taylor, Iman Dennis. Quite a good group there. Tyler Morris, yeah. Tyler Morris. We came into the camp with Roman, Cornelius Johnson, and Tyler Morris being the top 3.
Besides those 3 freshmen you mentioned, are there any other guys that could possibly work in a 2 deep, showing out maybe halfway through?
Yeah, the ones I just mentioned, Christian Dixon definitely has a very good shot. Zach Peterson, Joe Taylor's going to be, he's one of our core special teams players. Yeah, there's plenty of opportunity.
I'm talking about all freshmen, every position. Is there anybody else?
Yeah, there's other guys.
Anybody jumps out?
Yeah. Freshmen there's a great group of freshmen. There's Cameron Grant, Eno Etta, Trey Pierce. Those 3 have been outstanding and came in right on time, and just feel like that interior defensive line group has really been bolstered. We'll see who the 5th and 6th defensive lineman is that's going to be in that rotation, but definitely those 3 will most likely be in it. That's how good they're playing.
apologize, but due to time, we got time for one more question. The coach has to get on a Big Ten coaches call. We'll go at the camera.
Going back to Roman, how has he done a good job of balancing what's practice, but also what's happening back at his home state?
Yeah, it's been good from what I've been able to see. Yeah, and his ties are deep there, both in Honolulu and in Maui. Been good. Also want to leave you with the corners. It's another position that I mentioned. Mike Samerstil, Will Johnson, Josh Wallace, Keyshawn Harris. Those have been the top guys. And Jaden McBurrows, Miles Pollard playing well. 3 really good freshmen in that group. Another position group that have 3 that are ascending. DJ Waller, Jared Hill, and Cam Calhoun, all coming on fast.
So is Marion Walker banged up then?
A little bit. He's working through something right now. Yeah, but expect to have him back in 4 to 5 days.
And you said Mikey at corner, not nickel?
Corner nickel. Yeah, that's.
Do you have a feel if the decision was today, one or the other?
He can play both. He can play both. Yeah, I think we're at our best if he's at nickel.
All right.
Jim, any long-term
Thanks, guys.
injuries? Anything long?
There may be one. Yeah, we'll have to see with Logan Forbes. He was having such a great camp, tremendous off season, and waiting on an MRI this morning. But hoping for the best. We're playing for the worst, and but he's been just. It's one of those gut wrenching things, and so we'll find out. Knowing him, though, he'll do what all the other guys do. They come back bigger, stronger, faster. All right, thanks a lot.
Thanks, guys.